EQ. This is IQ.
All right, good. What else? Just one at a time. No Mason. No Nico. Ryan. I didn't see Ryan. No Spitzer. I'm missing a whole bunch of people today.
Spitzer's right here.
Oh, why do you say anything?
Yes, sir.
Nico. Punctual as always. Good. What else? What else we talk about?
Openness.
Okay. Yeah, good. It's literally right in front of you guys. Okay, good. What else?
Neuroticism.
Psychology.
It's psychology. Yeah, we touched. What about psychology?
The ocean thing.
Doing good, Mason. Stick with it, okay? All right, we touched on this. I think we ended on this, all right? IQ versus EQ, unless you major in the core, all right? You need more in school than you do in the real world unless you major in the core. Why?
Relationships.
What about relationships?
EQ is relationships.
Okay, meaning?
In the core, you need more relationships.
Why?
Than IQ.
Why?
Because there's not as much thinking. It's more relationships with your buddies and peer leadership stuff.
Oh, okay. We're leading.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. We got there eventually. Good job, Mason. All right. Richard, something to add?
Wasn't it like, if I remember correctly, you know, there it says like success in school is 75% IQ and 25% EQ, but like in the, like when you're in your job, isn't it flip?
Good job.
Nice.
Oh, I swear to just read it off.
Yeah, no, I know. Well, you got there. Literally says that. All right, we're firing on all cylinders today. I'm glad I'm recording this class and not the one earlier that was good. Okay. Good. We're on the right path. All right. You guys are the most educated people in history. Right? We're getting smarter. We're learning more. However, before you pat yourself on the back, we're missing training ourselves to manage our emotions. Everyone just reacts to shit. You don't think so, Jackson?
No, I'm just trying to be difficult. I don't know.
Well, we'll find out. Case in point. Okay? All right. Who knows? Anybody heard about the elephant and the rider? Has anybody ridden an elephant? Did you? Yeah. A couple of you? Did you?
No,
Then don't put your hand up, Nico. An Aggie does not lie, cheat, or steal?
Correct.
Unless it's their SOMS professor. Okay? You rode an elephant?
Yeah.
How'd it go? Both? Matthew?
Yeah, when I was a little kid.
Okay. Jake?
Same thing as a little kid.
All right. Did you get him to go where you wanted him to go?
No.
Why not?
The guy, they didn't let me drive it, but then again, I didn't know.
Okay. Who's in Maze? Who's in business school? Sort of? Minor? Business minor? Okay. And have we heard of the elephant and the rider? I have to do everyone's job on this campus. Okay. This comes from the business world, actually, right? Or you'll hear it a lot. All right. If you're sitting on top of an elephant, can you get him to go wherever you want? No. Why not? Huh? That's why what? They're hard to control. Why? They're huge, right? A lot bigger than you, a lot stronger than you, okay? But you're the rider. You want them to go. The rider is your conscious mind, okay? Your conscious, rational mind. I'm on an elephant. Let's go over there. I want to go over there. The elephant is your subconscious mind, okay? Conscious mind. I want to study. I want to get good grades. I want to get a good job. Subconscious mind. I want to go to Northgate. Right? Forget it. Let's go out, okay? Worst version of yourself. There are two of you, two parts of your brain fighting all the time, right? I need good grades, right? Want to get a good job? Yeah, but I don't really want to put on my uniform and go to class, right? Yeah, okay, right? So, conscious, subconscious, that's where we're at. If you don't believe me that you have a fight within yourself of your conscious and unconscious mind, then date somebody. Try it out, okay? How many of you have that friend that's dating someone that's terrible for him? Right? Perfect. If you don't, then you are that person. Good? Are you guys dating the same girl? You guys are like nodding. Okay? It's getting weird. Okay? All right. We are brilliant justifiers of what we blurt out. We'll just say shit and convince ourselves that it's right or it's accurate. Okay? Even when it's totally illogical to others. You ever been talking to somebody or having an argument or whatever, and they just say shit, and you're like, bro, you hear yourself? Like, that's the dumbest shit ever, okay? It no longer becomes about the argument. It's not about the issue anymore. It's just about what you're trying to say, all right? I'm louder than you, and I'm going to win the argument, all right? Is that the right way to operate?
No.
Let's talk about it, okay? Clay, read that loud and proud, please.
People are fluid and unpredictable, and that's good news and bad news.
Okay, cool. What's that mean, anyone? Break that down for me. What does that mean? What do you got, Adam?
People are like elephants, hard to control, but
Yeah.
sometimes it ends up working out.
Okay, yeah, good. It's good and bad, right? People are hard to deal with? Okay, good. I will agree with that. All right. Earlier in class, I asked you guys to describe a good coach that you had, good mentor. You guys listed all these great qualities, right? You listed the bad coach, and you listed everything that happens in the Corps. Right? More or less? All right. So, should you fake it till you make it?
Yes.
We'll get into that a little more today. All right. The good coach, the good person you want to be. This is really, really hard. Most of you cannot do this. It's to manage your emotions. Most of us just react. Most of us, in Psalms 42 today, we talked about rape and abortion, border control, right? Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's awesome. They were talking about when they left. They'll be talking about it all week until we continue next week. It's really hard to manage your emotions when you talk about those things, right? Okay, so how do you do that? You also need to observe people, right? And respond appropriately. These are hard skills. When somebody says something that makes you mad, you will react. Like, your face will twitch. You can tell. You get that look in your eye like, I don't believe you, bro. Right? General Welsh is the dean of the Bush School. He was a 4-star in charge of the Air Force. Okay? I went and met with him one time. He's a phenomenal individual. I've had him come speak in class before. I'm like, oh my God, he should be talking to the entire Corps, not just one class. But he likes doing it. He would sit in meetings with the president, with the Joint Chiefs, with legislators, talking about saving lives, defending the country, billions of dollars at stake. And he would try to never show his emotions on his face at all, no matter what, agreed, disagreed, or not, sitting in these meetings. What he would do is use his pen, right? And his staff would know how he felt based on where his pen was or what he was doing with it. If it was down, he's good. He's just listening. Put it a certain way, that meant something else. If he started twirling his pen just slowly, his staff was like, oh, shit. He's real mad about something. But on his face, on the surface, you absolutely couldn't tell. Okay? That's a phenomenal way to be. That's really hard to do. Right? It's really hard to control your emotions. Okay? Does anybody have a hard time being alone? Who does not like being alone? Right? Good? A few of you? Okay. All right. Who's good with it? Who's good solo? All right, cool. That's a good way to be. If you struggle with that, take some time to think. Take some time alone to think. Get away from people. All right? Yeah, small amounts if you're uncomfortable with it. Take some time to think. All right? Alone. Think for yourselves. Most of you don't. Okay? Most people don't. All right, quickly. We'll end on this and we're going to shift gears. All right? If you have the ability to read, but you don't, it's as though you can't. Who does not have the book still? Everyone's got it? We're good? You still don't have it? No. Okay, are you borrowing it?
Yes.
Okay, good. Let's make a plan. All right. That's what we tried to finish last week. Let's shift gears a little bit here. Okay. Fake it till you make it. Let's talk about that. I love Steve Buscemi. All right. Should you fake it till you make it? Some of you said yes.
It depends.
On what? It always depends. Everyone's favorite answer. Why does it depend?
Well, there's some situations you gotta work with others and admit, like, hey, I actually don't know what I'm doing.
Okay.
And there's other situations where nobody's gonna know what they're doing. You just gotta work through it and be a good leader.
Okay. When I asked you guys if you can spot a fake, you all said yes. you can tell if someone's not being authentic, right? But you're saying that you can fake it and be a good leader.
I think it's situational, but yeah.
Situational how? On what?
If you're in a situation that nobody in your group knows how to handle, right? For whatever reason, you're just going to be like, oh, well, shit, that's it. Everyone go home.
Okay.
You still got to do what you got to do to get your job done. So
Okay.
work together to fake it till you make it.
Do you have to fake it though?
You can be honest.
Yeah. Which would be what? What would you do? Nobody knows. Stick with Mason's example. What are we doing?
Oh, well, maybe like you be upfront about like, hey, look, I'm not too sure either, but we'll figure it out together.
Okay.
And let's do it.
So which would be better?
Mine.
Is it? You tell me. What do you think, Mason?
Well, I think if you say, hey, group, I don't know what the hell's going on. And they're like, neither do we.
Okay.
I think you just make an action plan and you move forward.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. But do we have to fake it to be effective that way, Adam?
I feel like depending on like the rest of the group or the crowd, someone who is slightly less qualified or whatever might start making bad decisions, in which case you might have to pretend to be more qualified.
Okay.
Even if you aren't fully qualified, but you are more qualified or you believe you're right or whatever, then you might have to fake it a little in order to get the group to do what you're trying to get them to do.
Okay. All right. I'm still not convinced. What do you got, Mark?
I think sometimes it's necessary.
Okay. Why?
So, for example, if you're trying to stop people from panicking, something's happening, and this may be controversial, but like during COVID, the government kept saying like do this, do that, and every week it felt like they changed their policies, like everything's changing, but they pretended that they knew what they were doing.
So was it good?
I mean, it helped probably prevent people from going into full-on panic mode, but not that necessarily what they did was good or they knew what they were doing. But
Correct. Okay. We'll stick with that. Keep that theme today, Clay.
I think it comes in handy when you're trying to get something.
What? Okay, that's terrifying. What do you mean?
Like, I mean,
Hold on.
undercover agents do that all the time. They fake it till they make it. They go and seek out information, and they get that information.
Okay. Do you think maybe they're trained how to be undercover agents?
I mean, yeah, but then anyone can be trained to fake it till they make it.
But okay. Is it fake if you were trained?
No.
Why not?
You're still acting like someone, like you're okay, let's say you're going into the cartel. You're acting like a cartel member. You are faking being a cartel member.
Correct.
and-
Were you trained before we send you to do that?
Sure.
Yes, extensively. Okay.
You're still faking it.
To the other cartel members.
Right, but you've been trained to do it for a purpose and a reason. If I just throw you to I'm going to drop you in Mexico City and say, here's a cartel, here's a contact. Go ahead, Clay. How are you going to do?
I don't know.
Not well with your blonde hair, okay? It's not going to go well. Sam, what do you got? What were you saying?
I was just saying, I mean, wouldn't he still be fake to the other cartel members? Because they don't know who.
Yeah, there's a difference between intentional deceit and what we're talking about of just stepping up and try to pretend that we know what we're doing, right? Yes or no? You tell me.
I mean, I still think you are faking to be someone else.
So the best actor was pretending to be somebody else. The person who wins best actor, right?
Yeah.
So they were trained extensively for that, right? So it's not like we just threw them in and they figured out how to do it. Sarah.
Okay, so I was going to say, piggyback off Tim, what he said, like getting something. Like for me, one of the examples I had is I was holistically reviewed to get into A&M.
Right.
And my essay was very emotionally driven because
Okay.
I knew if I made it emotionally driven and say, oh, kind of feel sorry for me, I'm playing back of every example that I've heard that has gone well with like getting what they want, because if they write something, oh, feel sorry for me, more than likely a lot of the humans who accept people feel sorry for you, and then
We talked about that in the book.
they
Adam.
Going back to his example of like, say you were dropped in, with the cartel. If your life depends on it, or if the lives of others depend on it, then yeah, faking it till you make it. I mean, it's
Right, but again, you guys are right, okay, valid. You're going to pretend to be something, but you weren't just thrown to the wolves.
Right, but if your life depends on it, like the situation, like we're talking about, it's situational. If your life depends on it, or if the lives of others depend on it, yeah, I think that is when you should.
Okay, all right, let's find out.
Serious implications.
Well, but there's always serious implications, right? The scale is what matters, how serious it is. Is it life or death? Is it my job? Is it my career? Is it a friendship, right? Those are all pretty serious. So, to Sarah's point, which is a good one, okay? If we take the tone of humility, that's different than just pretending we know how to do it, okay? We'll get into that a little more, all right? What I would encourage you to do, and again, hard, is remain in a learning posture, right? You're still trying to learn. Even if we think we're in charge, even if we're assuming we're in charge, okay, not everybody knows what to do. I'm going to go ahead and take control, all right? You still got to learn because we don't all know. Back to Mason's example. We don't all know what to do. Let's figure it out. But I still got to learn from the others because they may know some of it, okay? Emmy, read that.
There is nothing less confidence inspiring than a person faking knowledge they don't possess.
What do we get out of that?
Who said that?
That's another.
When you read the book, it's literally right out of the book. Okay? Iger, the Disney CEO, okay, the guy who assumed control. You guys I'm really close to making you guys sit not next to each other, like we're in grade school, okay? What's he talking about there? CEO of a company, Jake?
I think he's talking about when you're like putting on this show that you know what's going on when you have no idea, and as soon as people figure out that you're just full of crap, then like the enthusiasm drops and like if their idea of you turns negative and they just like they don't trust you.
Yeah, it's the Wizard of Oz, right? We went to see the Wizard of Oz because he knew everything, and it's the guy behind the curtain who doesn't know anything. All right? Same thing. Good point. There's a great book by Bob Gates, who was the president of Texas A&M. He's written several books, and he was Secretary of Defense. And he's conservative, and when Obama becomes president, he keeps Gates. His book's called, the one that talks about A&M a lot is called Passion for Leadership. I highly recommend it. And this is right out of the book. Okay. Obama holds him over. He thought he wouldn't get renewed. Okay. And Obama keeps him as SecDef. There's a lot going on, and there's some continuity reasons for it, and he keeps him. And Obama and SecDef's trying to back up. This is one of the best things ever in terms of controlling emotions. He's sitting in front of a congressional panel, and they're grilling him, Bob Gates, who's Secretary of Defense. They're grilling him on this stuff, right? And he's sitting there, and this legislator reads this long thing that's basically tearing him apart. And he gets done reading it, and Gates just sits there. And he says, "Do you have a question?" Because there wasn't one. He just wanted to read this thing. It's an inquiry. They're supposed to be asking him questions. And he just reads this long thing to berate him with no question. So Gates doesn't take the bait, right? Because he's just trying to play on his emotions. He's like, "Do you have a question?" So the guy's aides run over to him, and they're talking, and several minutes goes by, and they're whispering about what to do and how do we handle this, and they just read it again. Who won right there? Hell yeah. Okay, controlled his emotions. It's like, what's your point, bro? Made the dude look like a clown because there was no, he just wanted to read this thing. Okay, try to make him look bad. Control your emotions. Okay, but Obama tells Gates, and I think this is useful. When you're president, you have to know a lot of things, right? There's a lot of stuff going on. And he tells Gates, if I don't understand it, I can't defend it. What he meant was, if I don't understand what you're trying to tell me, I cannot defend what we are doing. I can't tell the media and the American public all these things. I have to understand it. All right? So when you are explaining things to them, if you don't possess the knowledge, you cannot make them understand. All right? Remain in that learning posture. All right, hang with me. Tortoise and the hare. Who won? Okay? What did Iger do at Disney when he took over? What did he do? Huh?
Started to learn.
Started to learn. Good. How?
I mean, he would ask questions and
Good.
didn't act like he knew everything.
Cool. Good. What else?
Did all the meetings with the different people to like figure out, like, kind of get to know them and introduce like their ideas and
Okay?
Slowly get to know everyone.
Yep, get to know them. Good. What else, Jake?
At one point when we talked to, I think this Pixar.
Yeah, Steve Jobs?
Yeah, when he won him over, first thing he said was that he knew, like he felt like he was unqualified, or that he knew, that he just wasn't qualified to be in that position that he was in.
Yeah, and how'd it go with Jobs?
Good.
Yeah. Okay, Steve Jobs, super high achiever, right? Super used to like the power broker meetings and all this stuff. And this dude comes in and is like, yeah, I don't know everything. I know a little. And Jobs is like, oh, okay. And it works out, right? And he was one of the only dudes at his funeral. He listened more than he spoke. Also hard. Okay? He listened more. CEO of the company. Been there a while. Going around meeting with people, he listened more than he spoke. All right? He learned more than he taught. Last semester, were you in the class with Buzz? Yeah. So last semester, I taught a class with Buzz Williams, basketball coach. I am due most of the success the basketball team is having, right? No? Nice. Okay. Wait. Good job. Extra credit. Okay. We go and meet with Buzz. Me and Dr. Keller go and meet with Buzz Williams, right? The dude reads 4 books at a time all the time, right? And he posts his stuff of what he reads if you're interested. Usually one's like business related, one's usually about leadership, one's usually about his faith, and then one is usually, he has a really hard time sleeping. Like he doesn't sleep very well. And so one is something that he finds kind of boring in hopes that it will put him to sleep, okay? Most of you don't have that problem, right? You just come to class. We sit down and meet with Buzz, and I said something, and he goes, thank you for teaching me that. And I was like, this dude's awesome, high achiever. He makes slightly more than I make. Okay, he makes a little bit more money than me. But he had this exact posture, right? He wanted to come teach with us, but he was asking questions. He wanted to know what we did in SOMS, okay? He tells us when he retires, he wants to teach SOMS, okay? Add more value than gain value. What can I bring to the table? Not what's in it for me, all right? Hard thing to do. All right, so let's see if y'all agree or disagree. We get some blood flowing here. Mason, read the top one there.
In today's complex world, people look for anyone with a clear sense of confidence.
What do we think?
Agree.
Disagree? Why?
Because I kind of associate a lot of people who show confidence and a lot of people, squad members, just like, they're too cocky and I think that their crap is,
Doesn't
the
stink?
best thing ever.
Okay.
And I wouldn't look for anyone with a clear sense of confidence.
What would you prefer?
I would have to see them.
Okay, I'll take it. Stick with it. We're not done with this. What do you got?
I think with a lot of these, we're going to get into the sense of like us as was like the general populace. Like,
Tell me what you think. Agree or disagree?
I agree. The general populace, I believe, would agree. Some of us in the class might disagree, but I believe the general populace would agree.
Probably. Good. What do we got?
I wouldn't necessarily say I look for someone with confidence. I look for more of a genuine person.
Okay, fair enough. So when they're faking it, do they appear genuine?
No.
Okay, good. Anyone else? Where are we at? Agree? Disagree? Who disagrees? So everyone just Switzerland? You got to pick a side here today. You're killing me. What do we got? Ryan?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
I think that even at most people, even if you don't really realize it, if you're like, when you're looking for a leader, you're looking for confidence. You're not really looking for, I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay. All right. I'll take it. Ryan, read the next one there.
Team members long for a sense of confidence.
Okay. Do we agree or disagree? We're mostly good on this one? Sarah?
A sense of confidence.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Richard, read this one.
Leaders do not need to have all the answers up front, nor does it mean they're absolutely certain everything will pan out according to plan.
Okay. What do we think? Agree or disagree? We're good? Okay. Back to Mark's point. We'll talk about COVID. I text thread with some buddies from college. One is a surgeon. He makes a boatload of money. Well, they all make more money than I do. I don't get paid as much as Buzz. One's an engineer. Okay. One is a computer scientist, but he's like a strength coach. He's a buff dude, so he's wicked smart. and he's like really, really strong. And then the other one is an environmental guy, okay, and then me, right? And we have conversations, and we were talking about this, and the surgeon sends us an article that's talking about something actually related to COVID now as we look back on things. And it's the engineer reply. Where are my engineers? Nice, a lot of you. Buckle up. The engineer replies, how come all these science articles said may mean or might lead to? It really bothered him that it was like not conclusive. Why? Why do the articles say that? No. Why don't they know? They just did the research, and we think it leads to this. Why don't they know?
Not enough time has passed. And
Nope.
They don't want.
Tucker.
Leave some room to cover their ass.
Nope.
Oh, saying they don't want to be responsible if it does or doesn't.
No. Absolutely not.
Yeah, I think there's like gray area if something proves them wrong, it doesn't like actually prove them wrong.
Every study out. What do you got, Rafael?
People are sensitive, so it's like.
Yeah, they are, but none of that matters in science.
Well, like science, it's like, you know, they have to know like every single thing. If they say like this is the way it is, then it has to be the way it is for like every eventuality that's possible. And that's just the way that like science works. Engineering, we get to a certain decimal point where like that's good. It'll hold up the car when the bridge goes over.
Yes, okay.
Like it has to go to 6 decimals.
What do you guys want to do in engineering? If we have a problem, what are we trying to do?
Solve it.
Are they all solvable? Possibly, if there's enough math. Are they all? Is it all? Why is it called practicing medicine?
Better.
To try to figure it out. So back to the science doesn't know conclusively most of the time because we aren't sure. We think it does those things. But if you're practicing real science, you should be objective, which is hard, to say, we are not sure, but we think it does this. So to your point with COVID, we're making decisions with partial data, which was a problem with COVID. Okay? All right. Buckle up. See if this will wake you up. Okay. Do we know where this is?
Yes.
This is Jack's face. That's the entrance to Auschwitz. She's standing on the train tracks. Okay, everybody stand up. 30 seconds each. Tell somebody the worst thing you've ever seen on social media.
I don't even know. Just, I'm not. I think it
All right, have a seat. Are we awake now? Sam, read that for me, loud and proud.
As our lives become more complicated and overwhelming, people feel they don't have to research every decision. We're tired of the look for gatekeepers who share our values and help us make good decisions.
Good or bad? What's that mean? What are we talking about? What's this about? What do you got, Adam?
Whenever we have a problem or we think we're right, we look for other people who also think we're right.
Good, I'll take that. Good. What else? Jake?
When it comes to like a gatekeeper, if we find someone that we sense has like they know what they're talking about,
Sure.
have like a profession to it, then we're gonna believe them because like they're like the expert on it. As
Yeah.
what we think.
Good, I'll take it, Clay.
When we have a problem, we look for someone else to solve it.
Yeah, good. Okay. If we're following somebody on social media, right, and it's a celebrity we look up to or a political pundit, whatever, all right, are we letting them think for us? If they say, oh, yeah, I like that, I agree with that. Okay. Does that mean it's right? No. Okay. Here's the issue, ladies and jelly spoons. Just because someone says it doesn't make it true. You good, Ryan? Thinking about it?
No.
What? Okay. Who likes college? Who likes football? Okay. Who likes college game day? Okay. And they make a pick every Saturday, right? And when Herb Street doesn't pick the Aggies, what do we think about Herb Street?
Oh, he's wrong.
Yeah, he's wrong. When he picks the Aggies, what do we think?
He's got it.
Made the right decision. Okay. They're just who thinks Herb Street hates A&M? So it's a few. Okay, his Twitter handle or whatever is like hater of your team the most or whatever, because every fan base thinks he hates their team. All right, but he's just making a forecast. All right, if you're listening to somebody on social media, whoever you like, okay, you can't let them think for you, but we do it all the time. All right, just because I say something doesn't make it true. Just because your parents say something doesn't make it true. And it's up to you guys to start thinking for yourselves, because in 5 or 10 or 15 years, when the next COVID or 9/11 or Ukraine-Russia happens, it's going to be up to you guys. And you have to make decisions with impartial data. It's going to fall to you guys. If you see some in the article, general media, and it's like, this study said that men die at age 28. And you're like, oh, shit, well, I guess we're going to die at 28. All they did was pull one thing out of a study that is long and says, well, if you're in the ocean and it's shark-infested waters and you cut your leg off, you're going to probably die. Right? Like, that's what the study says. But the media's like, you're going to die at 28. Right? Go find the study. Go look it up. Find the information. See if it's true. Because for every study, there's another study that'll prove the opposite in almost everything. Okay? There's a study that'll prove the opposite. All right? So, is this good or bad? What do you got, Jackson?
I don't think it's, we look at it and it sounds bad.
You tell me. I don't care.
I don't know. In my 20 or so years of life, if there's one thing I've learned, I'm really stupid. And I'm not going to know everything.
Right.
And so somebody else, I'm going to give scientists for a reason. I got to believe some of them.
Sure. Right. But choose the scientist, maybe not the journalist. Right? I would just say to dig a little deeper. Because I tell you, most of y'all have yet to think for yourselves. Because it's hard. Because we have to make decisions. You're like, no, I just want some. There's a lot of people coming back to COVID who just wanted to be told what to do. But we don't know if we were telling them the right thing or not, right? Okay, buckle up. Here, who knows who these guys are? You know their names? Anybody know their names? Yeah, the two old dudes from the Muppets. Everybody knows who they are? Has anybody never seen them? Who's not seen them before? Okay, all right, for you guys. So these are on the Muppets. They were great. Most people see them. Their names are Waldorf and Statler, which are two hotels. What do they do, for the people who know? What do they do?
They heckle the Muppets.
Yeah, they just holler shit out, right, from the cheap seats, okay? Or the nice seats, whatever. They just make fun of them all the time. With age comes cynicism. The older you get, the more cynical you will be about people, about things. Who's got, like, crusty old grandpa? Right? Okay. Or it's your parents. Okay. Whatever. Just be aware of that. The older you get, the more cynical you get. Okay. Okay. Let's try to figure this out. If you're tentative, your people will be the same. True or false?
So you're the leader in command? Is that
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. True. Okay. Good. Who else? True. Where are we at? True.
True.
Okay. Anyone say false? Mark, why?
I'd say if it's false, it won't last long. Because if you're tentative and the people under you are maybe more ambitious or confident in themselves or maybe more knowledgeable, you probably won't last as a leader very long.
Okay, I'll take that. So you're going to get superseded, right?
Yeah.
Something to add, Lauren?
That was what I was going to say, that if your people are more decisive, then they'll just start making decisions for you.
Okay, good. I'll take it. Adam?
I would say it depends on the people, but a majority, yeah, I'd say it's true.
Okay, cool. Anyone else? Good. Take it. All right. Confidence comes before competence. True or false? False?
It depends on what kind of confidence. I mean, you've got to like be.
It always
take
depends.
The first step.
Okay, so what do you mean? Wait, hold on. What do you mean? Hold on. Don't lose your thought.
I mean, in the sense of like, you have the confidence to say, I know that I can do this, and
Okay.
then you do it, and then you get the confidence, and it gives you the other confidence of, I know that I can now.
So, building on the repetition,
Yes.
more or less?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
What were you going to say, Mason?
I was saying, I think like confidence does come before confidence because you have to be able to either believe in yourself or your team to go out and get the knowledge you need to do whatever it is or to work through it
Okay.
together to.
So you may not need the repetitions, right? He's saying, Matthew's saying, I'll get the confidence once I build the competence, right?
I guess the confidence, I'm assuming it's talking about. I think you do. Like, I kind of agree with Mason.
Okay.
You need that confidence in the beginning to say, okay, I'm gonna go get those skills, and then be more confident in the future. But you
Okay.
need the initial level of confidence to begin with.
Okay, so we're starting with some. What were you going to say, Ryan?
That's what I was saying. I think like some people just have like, confidence, and they don't have to like know the area that they're like gonna be leading in to like just assume the leadership position. I think it's kind of like the same thing as faking until you make it. You can have the confidence without really knowing the competence, and then like it'll come.
Okay. We'll see. What do you got, Amy?
Have you seen The Pursuit of Happiness?
Yeah, a while ago.
Where he like pulls up to the interview and like with paint on him and like
Yeah.
terrible clothes and
Yeah.
stuff for an interview at least.
Yep, he's a mess.
Yeah, but he was really confident and he told him like, I have the confidence to gather this competence.
Yeah.
If you allow me to. So I think it's like EQ, IQ.
Okay.
It's easier to get the IQ if you got the high EQ. But the other way around can be more challenging.
Okay. So where do you stand?
True.
Okay. Confidence before competence. Okay. Adam?
Okay, going off that example, he had to have the competence to know to do that initially.
Okay.
So he needed the competence. It's just a different type of competence. Like he didn't have the competence needed to work the job, but he had the competence to get the job.
Okay. So which came first? Confidence?
Competence.
Confidence? Okay, cool. All right. So which one's essential? What? Say it. Oh, it's a trick question. Yeah, both. What's everyone's favorite answer in the core? It depends. Yes, you can use that one here. For some of you, it's going to be how many of you do not like standing up and giving speeches, presentations? Okay. How about if you prepare for it? How do you prepare for it then, Mark?
Probably just like 100% make sure I know what I'm going to talk about.
So you need the competence to be confident, right? Okay. Does that make sense?
For the presentation example.
For the presentation, sure. All right. But not in every situation, right? Some of you might come from, all right, I'm going to take charge. I kind of know what we're doing. Sophomore year, how'd we do? His piss heads? How'd you do?
Good.
I'm going to ask your fish. How'd they do under you, Nico?
I think they did great.
Yeah? Okay. Would they say the same about you?
Yeah.
No.
Yes? No.
Lauren, what do you got?
I don't think I made a good sophomore, but I think a lot of that was because I was trying to conform to the core's idea of you need to be really hard and not super personal, and that's just not who I am. I'm more of the personal.
Which was hard for you, right?
Yeah.
So if you're not a yeller and you're not trying to be a badass, how did it appear when you did?
I mean, I just ended up being really quiet a lot of the time.
Good. Okay. Could you come up Mason's face and knife hand him?
You know, I probably wouldn't.
Okay. How would that have gone, Mason? She's knife handing you like this. Okay.
I don't want to be rude, but if I was a fish and like someone was bad blowing me, well, actually no, it happened a lot actually.
Okay. Were they shorter than you?
Yeah, all
How'd it
my
go?
sets were shorter than me. And
Okay.
I thought it was funny.
Right. It's entertaining. Okay. What do you got?
I just thought the movie that I was thinking of when I was saying like, my answer to that question. You know, Catch Me If You Can.
Yes. Yep.
I feel like that's like a very good example of what I was talking about. Like you just have confidence and not really know what you're doing. And trick everyone.
Okay. We're talking about a felon who went to jail. Okay.
Very successful.
Oh, or working our way into cartels. So I'm very concerned of where we're headed, right? Of where we're faking it. Yeah, he did. He had the confidence until he developed the competence. He got really good at stuff, didn't he?
Yeah, like pass that big test.
How did he pass the bar?
By making. Oh no, he
So he studied.
He worked his ass off. That's the one that bothered him. How'd you pass the bar exam in Louisiana? He's like, I studied and worked really hard. He couldn't fake that one. He couldn't fake that one. What do you got?
I gotta think you can be confident that you don't have the competence to complete something. So
Okay, what does that mean?
I can say, I don't know everything about this and I have a lot to learn, but I'm confident that I'm going to get there and I'm going to work through it until I do.
Okay, I'll take it. All right. Listen, this is it depends for you. If you are competent, you can build your confidence. If you're confident, you can work on the competence. I don't care which way you want to do it, all right? But I will tell you, Lauren, that does anyone know who Johnny Kim is?
Mm-hmm.
Who's Johnny Kim?
He's like wasn't he? He went to like Harvard Med School, and then he became a Navy SEAL and as an astronaut.
Okay.
And he's like 38 or something.
Okay, started as a Navy SEAL, enlisted, so didn't go to college, okay? Started as a Navy SEAL, enlisted. Dad was full-blown alcoholic, got murdered by the cops in his attic because he used to beat his family, okay? Johnny Kim became a Navy SEAL. Right, from there, he had some money for school, so being the slacker that he was, he went to Harvard Medical School. Now he's an astronaut. Johnny is better than all of us, combined, okay? Right? At Navy SEAL training during Hell Week, you get, this is why you remember this? I bring him up? Or did you just know about him before?
I just knew, I read something on him.
Okay, cool. I don't want to repeat myself if you haven't before. All right, so during Hell Week, during the Navy SEALs, you get a 30-minute nap for a week. All right, because your brain will quit on your body way ahead before your body's done. In fact, the SEALs call it the 40% rule. When you think you're done, you have 40% left to give. Okay?
From your body?
Yep. You're not done. Okay? But your body will do that to protect you because we used to have to run from lions, right? And we needed the fight or flight response. So your brain tries to save energy for your body all the time. Okay? It's also why you crave fat and sugar. I could go off on this, but it's not SOMS related necessarily. Okay? All right. So during Hell Week, you're awake for a week. When you get sleep deprived, your brain gets terrible, all right? You get real dumb. It's like being drunk. So if you're not 21, just stay up. Same thing as going to Northgate, okay? Hell of a lot cheaper, all right? So during Hell Week, they feed you like crazy. They actually give you a lot of food, all right, because they want you to keep going. But they don't want you to quit because all they're testing is your brain, all right? And they're going to see how long you can do, right? It's the only time in SEAL training you are allowed to quit, and they will ask you if you want to come back. They will say, we've been through all this. You've been doing this for 2 or 3 years. If you quit now, I'm going to give you the opportunity to go back. Do you want to come back? Yes, I'll come back. If you quit once, you are highly likely to quit again. All they're testing is your capability to withstand mentally because your body can keep going. So it's during Hell Week. Johnny Kim is there. He gets his 30-minute nap. He's dead to the world, right? He's been awake for days, 30-minute nap. He's in a coma. The instructor comes in, doesn't yell. He gets close to him and he whispers. So what SEALs had to do when they say go get wet and sandy, they had to go do like push-ups in the surf. Okay, it's awful. He doesn't yell at him. He whispers in his ear, it's time to go get wet and sandy. Scared the shit out of him. Said he's never heard anything more terrifying in his life. So you don't have to be the hard ass. Okay? Hang with it. All right, let's get into that. Overconfidence. Like or dislike? Why? Huh? Why do we dislike it, Jake?
It turns into an ego to where they're like full of shit.
Yep, okay. A lot of things. How many of you, as juniors, how many of your buddies made like staff positions and they changed? Better or worse? We're afraid to say they're sitting in the room. Earlier it was like, oh, they got worse. All of them got worse. Yeah. I will tell you this. There's a thin line, in my opinion, in my experience, between confidence and arrogance. All right? Who's seen the movie Rudy? Football movie? Yeah, okay. When he's like, you're 5'0" and you're 100 and you played with the best team in the country. That's me. I'm a very confident person for no reason. Right? Okay? I'm 5'10", so I wear boots. Okay? I'm an extremely confident person, and I used to work for somebody. I've been invited to leave companies twice in my life. It was never related to job performance. I worked with somebody who did not like me. They thought I was arrogant, which bothered me a lot. I was in my 20s, right? I was working in athletics at my alma mater. I loved what I did, and I was very comfortable and confident in the environment that I was in. Right? If I needed a coach to go talk to him about something, I would go to the coach's office. We work in the same building. Hey, I need you for something. Can you help me out? They would have to send an email to set up a meeting. They're 15 feet away. Walk over there, okay? They accused me of being arrogant. That was their perception of me, right? I tried really hard to just be comfortable. I never wore jeans at work. I used to dress really nice, okay, because I was young and trying to compensate for that, right? They viewed me as arrogant. Bothered me to my core, okay? And it was merely how they viewed me, all right? So there's a real thin line there. If we only see confidence, so eventually we don't see the competence, all right? And we only see confidence, we'll start to think they're dishonest, right? If that's all we see. So that goes back to the humility component of it, all right? We'll get into it. Gosling, right? So dreamy. It's my favorite slide. I didn't even get to it this morning, okay? Confidence and humility is attractive. We need both, right? If you're only confident, okay, we need humility. If you're in a nice store and you break something, right? Do we run away and hide? We knock a glass down. We broke it. What do? Shit. Okay. What do? Then what? Yeah, okay. Listen, I'm really sorry. I broke the thing. Oh, how confident and humble. Very attractive. Okay? You just became very attractive. If we ran away, not attractive. I'm just picking on you. I don't know if you would or not. Okay? We need both. All right? Who's that? What's he doing? Did it look like that? Absolutely not. Okay? If I'm in this boat and this asshole's standing up here like this, I'm going to be like, get your ass down. About to fall out the boat and freeze to death. Okay? Why did it look like that? Why does the painting look like that? Because that's how he wanted it to look. Right? Washington had problems. Washington was very confident. His mother did not really love him. Okay? She really was not supportive of him. She never wanted him to join the army. She never wanted him to leave. She wanted him to work. He paid for her house like the last 20 years of her life and gave her money, and she never said thank you. Right? So not nice. So George had some issues, right? We got some mommy issues. Dad died, also some issues. Also why we got him on the U.S. side. Okay? George didn't treat his men very well. And the first expedition he actually led to the French and Indian War. Okay? He failed a lot as a leader, especially early on. Okay? George didn't treat his men very well. He was really strict. They'd say he was very fair. Okay? So strict but fair. But he never showed humility. Before this, right before this, he goes to read his men something, gathers his men, and he goes to read them something, and they didn't know he wore glasses because he never let people see him do it. And he pulled out glasses and read it in front of them. And it was the first sign of humility that they had seen in him. Then they got on the boats and said, let's go do it. All right? What does your brain do when you see humility? Sarah? Your brain softens. You go from trying to protect yourself, which you're doing all the time, to actually engaging with them and seeing them as another human being. Okay? It invites a connection. All right? It invites you the opportunity to help. Okay. So, what do? Now what? What are we going to do?
Control our emotions.
Okay? How's that going to go? Is it easy? How are you going to do it?
Take deep breaths. It's like a challenging topic.
Okay, good. What else?
That's like a physical thing.
Yeah, good. What else? What are we going to do? What are we going to work on? What you got, Trevor?
I really like when Iger says, or when people talk about Iger, talking about how he listens more to people than he's speaking to people. I think that's big. I think if you can listen more than you talk, you'll probably become a better person.
Yep. I would agree. Adam?
I think like a lot of times we know what to do, just not when to do it. So,
Okay, what do you mean?
I think so. Like, I know that I'm supposed to control my emotions, right? But I don't really notice whenever I'm not controlling them quite as much. So what I would do is I would enlist the help of other people to identify exactly when that occurs.
Great, good. I'll take it. What else? What are we gonna work on?
Not faking it till you make it.
I hope so. I hope so.
I like the letting other people think before you think. Like, I've fallen into I listen to Ben Shapiro a lot.
Yeah.
And, like, you listen to a lot of his logic, and you're like, oh, that sounds pretty damn true. That
Right.
sounds good.
Yeah. And he's a smart dude.
Yeah, but then, I was, like, thinking about it while you were talking about it. I was like, huh. I can see how I've let that kind of situation, like, that's what I think now because he said that.
Yeah, and this here's the hard part. This is what goes back to our emotions. When we hear something that challenges us or our beliefs, we tend to just react, right? Like viscerally. We get pissed. Just pump brakes. Hold up and listen. They might have a valid point. Okay? This week's assignment is posted